What is up, ladies and gentlemen? If you like fantasy football, particularly best ball, you're in the right place with your best ball guru, Liam Murphy. Going to be talking about the recent NFL news. Going to be ripping a draft or two. So, kicking off the news in the NFL, Christian Kirk, right after we ended the show yesterday, was officially released by the Jaguars. And, as someone who follows infinite beat writers on Twitter, nearly every single one was like, this is why Christian Kirk fits our team. Typically a good sign for the player. I personally think the cut is a little confusing for the Jaguars because, Kirk, after having previously set the wide receiver market a couple years ago, he's now affordably paid. You got a Jags team who wants to build around Trevor. Obviously, Liam Cohen, he's there to change things up. So it's not that surprising. And maybe he views that the Jaguars are a little bit further from being a contender than, I thought possible. What's that leave the Jaguars with? Well, it leaves them with Brian Thomas Jr. and basically a bag of dust where, okay, you got Gabe Davis. He's probably going to return and be one of the outside wide receivers. What's a good season from him? He could be a 700-yard, 10-touchdown guy, kind of like a Zay Jones year, kind of like years he's had in the past if things break right for him. Evan Ingram is very likely to be cut from the Jaguars as well due to the guaranteed money he has. So, going to update my rankings, just updated my rankings on the site to reflect the combine. But in my new rankings, which I'll probably have out in a week or two, gonna bump up Bretton Strange, the tight end. Going to bump up Parker Washington. I wouldn't be going crazy, especially on Parker Washington, because it's very likely that the Jaguars draft someone. They had the 5th pick in the draft, so if they land Travis Hunter, they might be the team to be like, screw it, dude. You're running wide receiver for us. And you roll with Brian Thomas Jr., you roll with Travis Hunter. Seems set to me. They also seem like a team, if they don't get Hunter, which Hunter's almost assuredly off the board by pick 4, which would be the Patriots. They seem like a team in the second round to take one of these wide receivers kind of in a slot mold. The other news we got is DK Metcalf officially requests a trade. This is something we talked about last week. We've kind of seen rumblings about it to the Packers. Seahawks are apparently looking for a 1st and a 3rd. I don't think they'll get that. I think they might get a 1st. They might get a team that has a high 2nd. That seems more appropriate to me because you got to pay Metcalf too. But, wide receivers, hard to come by. And then Joey Bosa released by the Chargers. He's an edge, so obviously not super fantasy relevant, but it is meaningful. Tutu Atwell, 1 year, $10 million to the Rams. That seems like a lot of money for Tutu Atwell. Metcalf, early rumored teams outside of the Packers would be the Chargers, Texans, and Patriots. Again, I'm seeing beat writers for the Bills, etc. be like, let's get them. Makes sense. I've always wanted Metcalf with Josh Allen as a Bills fan. The other thing we got is the Matt Berry 25 things he heard at the combine. A mix of substance and not. Some of it is about quarterbacks, yada, yada. He's hearing about, I can't pull this article up on my computer. It's going to just like kill me with ads. So basically Rodgers, he's saying the Giants make some sense. And he says for the Jets that he's hearing they might go with Tyrod Taylor and a rookie. So maybe Jalen Milroe. A lot of teams impressed with Jalen Milroe. The Steelers, he says, I'm hearing that the Steelers are going to keep one of their quarterbacks, and that's going to be Justin Fields. So that's what people are assuming. If Justin Fields is the starter for the Steelers, he's obviously a solid pick. I still don't think he's like, you're not going to get what Jaden Daniels was. Russell Wilson, feeling like he could unite with the Raiders, which makes sense. Obviously, Pete Carroll's there. At the same time, the Raiders, if they do that, they probably take a quarterback in the second, someone young to overtake him eventually. Sam Darnold, blah, blah, blah. Nothing really there. Just that someone's going to pay him. People love Cam Ward. People hate Shadur Sanders. They said that he wasn't serious during the interviews. Cleveland likes him a little bit. Tampa desperately wants Chris Godwin back. So that is, people are assuming a 1-year prove-it deal for him, but Baker wants Godwin back. Bucks want Godwin back. They'll probably get him back. Stephon Diggs may not return to the Texans because people are going to want him, is what he's saying, where there is a market for Diggs. So this is a good sign for his fantasy value. Obviously, you don't love if he lands with, say, the Steelers. But if he's a Patriot, that seems good to me. And if there's a market for Diggs, it leads me to believe that they're not too worried about the injury. He also says something that I've been saying a lot of. Darius Slayton and Diami Brown, 2 dudes who I've ranked pretty high, that he wouldn't be shocked if both of them get a lot of money, which would maybe push Diami Brown out from being a Commander. The Patriots are desperately looking for wide receiver 1, so DK Metcalf the Patriots' second-round pick for DK Metcalf, that's what makes sense to me. And then Devontae Adams is going to get interest. James Conner's undervalued. Bucky Irving, he is going to be a true alpha. Sean Tucker, they like a lot too. So it might be that Rachaad White is the RB3. So, I've gone back and forth on Rachaad White, think he's undervalued in some senses. But yeah, if it is the possibility that they roll with Bucky and Tucker and White's the third, that's not great. Now, if they trade White, that is good. Another thing I've been saying a lot is teams have been trying to trade for Jordan Mason. So seems good for Jordan Mason. Maybe Barry just listened to my streams and he's just like tweeting out what I'm saying as fact here. Another thing I've been saying a lot, I talked with the Bill source who told me Dalton Kincaid's lack of production last year was because he was a lot more injured than folks realized. He's going to be a sleeper next year. Trust me. I was told, what about Amari Cooper? I asked. A shrug. He might be done. So not great on Cooper. Hope for Kincaid. And that's pretty much it. Sean Payton, they seem like they could be a Hampton team. And then the Bengals didn't even mention Jermaine Burton. So that is some of the news. Let's jump into a draft here. Big board is 2 more for this one. Let's see. Let's check the fill rate. I've been doing a couple more drafts off stream. It is 46% filled almost. Yeah, so I've entered a couple off stream recently, and what I've noticed is like The fill rate is pretty slow, not streamed. Okay, let's get the screen shared. Let me know what you're thinking about this NFL news. Again, if you want to get my big board rankings, you can find that at beatbestball.com. $100 for a year, best deal in fantasy. And please make sure to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Yeah, Diggs I started pretty in on, and then, I don't know, I got caught a cold feet, so I'll probably move him back up in the rankings a little bit. What a wholesome question. Highlight from your week? It's my 10-year alumni weekend upcoming, so probably have some fun there. How much higher does JSN get? I'm just, JSN, man, he's okay. He's just okay. Clearly, he was pretty target dominant, but I don't really think he should see this huge jump. Let's see here. Number one, I think and you have corners who are saying this. They're being like, look, if DK Metcalf goes, who cares about the Seahawks? JSN last year, after his bye week, he had like 4 okay games, no blow-up games. So I'm pretty much lower on JSN. Puka feels nice. I went ahead and jumped Jefferson and Puka ahead of the running backs. I think, obviously it's close, but how I currently feel is that you feel good about quite a bit of running backs. And I think the people who are getting the lesson that Saquon should be the 101 don't really have a robust system. Puka back with Stafford. He stays healthy. He is very live to be wide receiver 1. Yeah, I mean, look, teams are going to say they're looking for whatever. Good for them. I'm looking for $1 million from this draft. I'm looking to win the big board. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. I wouldn't say all of the rookies are number 2 at best. Definitely would not say that. But we got a lot of musical chairs to sort through. There are teams that need wide receivers. Texans, Chargers, Bills, Chiefs if they don't bring Hollywood back. Jaguars. And there's some appealing free agents. I think everyone's going to try to get Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk, he does have a connection with Buffalo. He was literally at Josh Allen's bachelor party this past weekend. I think that their girlfriends are friends or something like that. We already did a couple Puka JTs. Let's do a Puka Lad. That could just be 2 150 target players. Oh, damn it. There was a tag on my shirt that was bothering me, and I ripped it, and I ripped a hole through it. So have to sew that up or something. Yeah, Kirk in Buffalo makes a lot of sense, but he's also kind of like, what are you doing with Curtis Samuel then as the Bills? Because Kirk makes sense in the sense that he can, he's a vertical slot, a guy that stretches the field, kind of like what Tyler Lockett has been in the past. But I don't, I think that's what they were hoping Samuel was. And so, I mean, look, sunk cost fallacy. Don't let Curtis Samuel prevent you from getting Christian Kirk. What's your view on the Vikings quarterback situation? I think it's pretty cut and dry. It's going to be JJ McCarthy. I don't really think anything else makes sense. Darnold is out of there. I mean, it's a long sleeve shirt, so I guess I could even just let the hole remain because usually you rock a short sleeve under a long sleeve. I definitely think the elite wide receivers and the second round running backs feel a little bit better than Saquon and T. Higgins. You know, Puka Lad, though, can't really go wrong. Puka JT also feels pretty good. I mean, JT drawn live to be the RB1 in any given week. JT is like a younger Derrick Henry with worse fanfare. Kind of how I think of him. His offense is unlikely to be as good, but never know. Brees Hall. Yeah, this guy's got the all we're bored with them team. CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek, Brees Hall. Was all it did for me, man. It gave me a shot at first. Yeah, why not? Let's get Marv. Marvin Harrison Jr. is your wide receiver 3. Don't they know this guy won as a 1-2 turn last year? The division correlation of Puka Marv feels good. What if Rams Cardinals is the past 5 years Vikings Packers, where for whatever oddity Vikings Packers have played like week 17 like 3 out of the last 4 years? Even if Rams Cardinals, if that lands week 16, week 15, feels pretty good to get a playoff stack. Also just feels good to be betting on year 2 Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah, they restructured Watson. They only have 40 million dead money tied up now. Hampton, we're seeing him rise. People are getting excited. Makes sense. But I don't know. He just took him straight up over Chase Brown and James Cook. So you better be damn good to justify that. Yeah, but the cap went up more than people thought, so I could see like the Watson contract's terrible, but could get a little better because of that. The Ritter, do you guys think this guy made his account name back when Desmond Ritter was a thing? Metcalf, also a riser. Yeah, I see no reason not to get anchor James Cook. I'm inclined to believe that he will get paid by Buffalo. When are we getting DK rankings and drafters? I mean, there's not even a best ball button for DraftKings. Last I checked. Let's check live for you, Tyler. So probably not until the real NFL season starts. Okay, there's NFL. When I click the NFL button, there is a Madden Classic. So I don't really know why you want DraftKings rankings when you can't draft DraftKings Best Ball. But you let me know, Tyler. Drafters, if they have like a rink-a-dink contest, you're probably not going to get that until not yet. Well, I mean, I don't know why you're asking for it if it's not up yet. Drafters, if they have like a rink-a-dink small contest, I might do one ranking update for them. But let's peek it. Drafters is a third fill. I might have one ranking update of drafters, but I don't anticipate updating drafters as much just because it's a small contest. It's not very popular. And put a lot of time into rankings, but during the real season, I'll update drafters at the same fervor. Well, I was going to bring up Bijan in the sense that, like, rookie fever's at an all-time high. I'm sure the combine plus people listening to, like, infinite combine winners videos and being like, Mario Hampton is a winner. And people are like, I want a winner. I want a winner on my team. But they, yeah, it's just like, even rookie year Bijan, he was just okay. Yeah, this seems like a good time to roll the dice on Rashee Rice. Barely have any of him. 5th round pick. I already have 3 wide receivers. So if we're getting Rashee Rice playing at all, which again, I'm hearing some good news there, why not? If I was doing a singular draft, would I take Rice over Olave and Waddle? No, just because like these guys are really 2 good players too. And they don't have the same risk levels. Yeah, the dynasty mindset bleeding over, that makes sense too. Let's see. Rookie year Bijan. Um, 200 and he had a pretty good rookie season. 246 PPR, that is. Cook last year put up 250 half point. So give him another 15 points. Basically, James Cook last year outscored rookie year Bijan. And so Hampton better be outscoring rookie year Bijan, assuming James Cook puts up the same numbers or Chase Brown does. I don't think that anyone watching what the Lions did, like if you looked at what the Lions, they in no way were, hey, one guy gets all of the workload. So you may want that. The fantasy market's going to want that. But even if GT lands there, someone's probably mixing in. Why not? Mr. Judy. With the uncertainty of Rice, give us a solid core 4 to get there, past ADP. I agree, man. Tutu getting 10 mil is crazy. It kind of is. Appreciate you. Copy, paste dates. Yeah, but this is just the beginning, AW. Hampton, he's going at the, look, he opened up in the 5-6, maybe even later. Now he's going 3-4. Pretty soon he's going to be 2-3. Slayton getting that Christian Kirk contract. Slayton's going to get paid. I honestly think he's one of the best picks in the big board right now. Is Tutu good on special teams? He's okay at that. Not like he's like irreplaceable. Yeah, I actually moved Caleb Johnson up a little bit. I don't know. Like Caleb Johnson versus James Conner, I think it's close. No, Hampton, I think, is going to go round 1. But let's say you go round 1 to the Broncos, and then the Broncos still do a timeshare. Not the best, friend. Burrow 71. That's exactly where I have him ranked because he is going to go there. I mean, sure, if you this is really great process, dude. If you want to compare the 2 games of Gibbs without Montgomery and assume that that's what Ben Johnson wants to do, you're a fool in my mind. But hey, everyone can do what they want. How many times should we be going back to the olds? Well, Connor Thielen, etc. I think you should do whole drafts where you just kind of dig the olds. So you do the Devontae Adams thing. You do Hopkins at the end of the draft. You do Alvin Kamara. You get a little teammate correlation here. You do James Conner. You do a Joe Mixon. You do Cooper Kupp. Whatever, right? I think that is some of these olds gonna have great values. Prevailing wisdom is that the olds are not as good typically when the money is won. Now, that's because it's at the end of the season. They tend to get hurt more, yada, yada. Some of it's random as well. But if you think about like middle of the season, people were loving some of these olds, and some of these olds did slow down. Probably do another after this, Nate. We got the 1-6 rocking right now. Quite a bit of flexibility. Mark Andrews, the other rumor is that he's going to get cut. Mahomes probably would have taken him if he was there. Yeah, Mark Andrews probably not going to be a Raven, which honestly might help him. Could totally go Kyler. Let's do old man Jones. Let's get another old. Aaron Jones, RB2, round 8. Could be pretty good. Do we think Mark Andrews could still be good on another team? Yes. Yes, I do. Question is, what's he got to give? Obviously, it's a big thing for Isaiah Likely. Andrews on Broncos? That could be good. Yeah, but like James Conner getting hurt week 16. I don't know. It's like, yeah, he got hurt. What's behind the $100 annual paywall? You get rankings once the NFL draft happens for drafters, DraftKings, and Underdog. You get several strategy articles, mainly once the NFL draft actually gets here. Have some, though, that I'm in the process of writing now, too. And you get playoff best ball videos. So pretty much just a full package. Don't know if I'll be doing as much in-season content this year. Last year I did waiver articles and some DFS stuff. So don't know if I'll be doing that again, but probably going to keep it mostly best ball. And I mean, they're the rankings I literally draft off of. So you do you. Saints and Andrews? I don't know, man. I don't. The Saints in no way needs to get older. Would be interesting to see if this block of quarterbacks moves back around as we get more volume. Yeah, no reason not to slam in a Justin Herbert here with Ladd. Pat missed on Kyler. What did I teach? Chess. Yeah, I think most people are expecting good quarterback play from McCarthy. It's obviously an unknown. The other unknown for Addison is, does his suspension come down the pipeline this year? Good morning from South Korea. What's up, dude? Juwan Johnson, the 17th best free agent, if you believe The Athletic. I mean, I think the Ravens, moving on from Andrews, a little bit related to the playoff game. It is a little bit to do with likely looking really good. And yeah, I mean, he's just like, he's due for a contract. They probably don't want to pay him. You can't pay everybody. Andrews had a ton of touchdowns, yes, but that is like, he won't have nearly as many touchdowns probably on the Ravens. I could see Andrews to the Rams. Like, that is a good team if he lands there. Yeah, why not? Why not, Mr. Drake May? Definitely don't have any stacks with him, but second and final quarterback. Maybe we'll throw on Matt Stafford later. I mean, this has got to be a joke, right? Could you smoke Kyler Murray in a game of chess? Absolutely. How's it going trying to increase your VO2? I looked into it and I've been trying as well since I heard you talk about it. Haven't been running as much these past couple weeks, but I'm going to get back at it. You know, I think it's good to take a break here and there, but it's been going up. Not hard when it's low. Thoughts on the rumors Panthers going to do a lot in free agency to try and win now? I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, the Falcons, maybe they're really good. Maybe they're eh. The Saints are definitely on the wrong side of that. The Bucks are fine. They're not a world beater. So if Bryce Young is legit, which he showed more at the end of last year, they have a bunch of cap space. They have draft picks. They, yeah, I see no reason why not to try. Are there any NFL guys around 2K ELO? I don't know. Probably not. Do you think Addison would be a fourth if he didn't have a looming suspension? No, I don't think he would be. I don't look at him as like some insane value. He's fine. Yeah, I'm a below average VO2. It was terrible though, so let's see. Let's go with the tank. Actually, no. Let's do Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is going to go way up once he gets signed somewhere. And maybe he'll be a Patriot. Don't want Kirk to be a Bill for this team, seeing as I have Cook and Shakir. I would prefer Jameson Williams over Addison, but I wouldn't call Jameson Williams past. Like, I'm prone to believe that Jameson Williams is over the past. Obviously, he could be an idiot again, but that's my assumption. And Addison has a suspension that we don't know what occurred with it yet. Byshell Tootin, got to move him up a little bit more in my ranks too. He is a running back who crushed the combine. Kirk reunion in Arizona. It makes sense. It does make sense. Kirk's got a friendly, like, Again, I'm telling you, I saw like 50 different beat writers be like, Christian Kirk makes sense here. Some Steelers beat writer who I don't believe at all, he's like, if Kirk didn't get hurt, he would have been a Steeler. I was like, no, he wouldn't, dude. Yeah, let's do the Swifty. Even though they're going to draft someone, what if he's just like 1B? 12th round? I don't know. $170, 180, 170, 180, 193 points. Like, this dude can carry the rock in the NFL. That I'm pretty confident won't happen. I'm pretty confident Christian Kirk won't go to the Browns. Yes, I would agree. Addison's behavior seems much worse than Jameson Williams. I mean, honestly, yeah. I don't know if we're going to get any more dominoes to fall for people who could get released, but it's possible. I was going to do Tootin. I would have done Tootin with the last pick, but I would have done Tootin here too. I think it's a little... I mean, look, if Tootin is Achane, sure. But, again, passing on Swift as your RB3 in the 12th. He went after Rachaad White, who we just mentioned could be the RB3. I don't know. Probably rather bet on Swift than Najee. Okay. Yeah, why not? Mr. Spears, come on down. I mean, this draft's kind of breaking nice for me where I hit wide receiver early and getting some nice running backs after picks. Swift, Spears, 17 picks past pick. I mean, if Spears is with Cam Ward, that seems good. I would argue this is a good thing. Jameson Williams is taking Adderall. Apparently, a lot of dudes take Adderall, so dude's trying. I would have taken Cam Ward maybe as my third QB. Someone in my last video, not the one, actually I don't remember, but someone in my last video was like, obviously Stafford's going up. When I said it didn't make sense to me that Stafford's going up in price, they're like, obviously that's because they know he's a Ram now, so they're doing it to stack him, which would make a lot of sense if people weren't just taking naked Matthew Stafford, meaning unstacked. Let's go with the staff god. Don't really feel like I need a third quarterback, but when you have Puka, seems pretty good. Statty Ice. Yeah, but it's 20 picks. Whatever. If Herbert rolls an ankle, Drake May does, you'll feel good having Stafford. Spears in some ways does feel like hitting a single, hitting a double, but He also feels pretty good to me. Favorite RB sleeper, can't stop taking Keaton Mitchell. I think Keaton Mitchell's a solid roll of the dice. I also think the Ravens are very likely to draft a running back. So there's that. Probably not doing that, dude. The thing about Tutu is he's got to dodge a lot. And I'm prone to believe that he being the de facto wide receiver 4 is not a great sign. A lot of people like these RJ Harvey and DJ Giddens fellows. Rico Dowdle going this late. It's probably a little bit disrespectful to Mr. Dowdle. Heck yeah, man. I mean, he already went there in this draft, Reese. He went ahead of both of them. So I could see him going 2-3 turn if things break right for him. Okay, what makes most sense here? Big play, Garendo. Let's do it, dude. Would you say it's highly likely? Really, man? I was really dreaming of getting Hunter Henry with the next pick. Maybe I should have just done it. Should have just done Henry because there's a lot of running backs I like to pair with May. I did that to myself. But I don't know. I really like Garendo has far more likely chance of being a league winner than Hunter Henry. Would you say it's highly likely the Browns don't have their starting running back on the roster yet? I mean, they're going to draft someone, man, but it really is not going to shock me if Ford is like the starting running back for 8+ weeks on either end of the year. What team is the most hopeless right now? I mean, easily the Saints. I'm usually pretty good at this. Like the year before the Patriots had a really bad season, I was like, they're the most hopeless team in the league. And then the year after too. It's easily the Saints, man. Because they have all this money tied up with bad players. They have no quarterback or hope of getting a quarterback. So they could have hope soon, though. All they need to have happen is to be really bad this year, and then they get like Archie Manning or someone like that. Yes, that is, as a Saints fan, that's what you're going for. Yeah, I saw this guy too. Might rank him. Well, and the coordinator that looked good with them is gone. So Pop Douglas, 8th wideout. Feels okay. You're hoping for a lucky touchdown season for him. He's pretty Wan'Dale Robinson coded, you know. Yeah, I mean that is your hope as a Saints fan, is that you got Kellen Moore, it will work out. I do have 0 tight ends. Probably go 6 RB, 3 tight ends. So aiming for the chalk 3-6-8-3. Part of me feels comfortable stopping with this group of 5, but might as well chuck on a 4th and just throw 3 darts at tight end. Gabe Davis going up a little bit up in people's minds with Kirk released. I do think DK Metcalf will leave. I just think that the Seattle coach is going to look, he's already looked himself in the mirror, and he knows that they are a good, not great team. And that, yeah, I mean, sure. Braylon Allen as the 6th running back, 20 picks past ADP, possibly Brees leaves town. Possibly he also is behind Isaiah Davis, but I like it. But anyways, yeah, I think he knows that they're a good, not great team. He hasn't really had the time to gel the team in his mind. So he's going to do like a soft blow up where he trades away a guy like Metcalf. He obviously wants to have a good defense, being a defensive coach. Probably wants to like get a good run game or something. So yeah, I think if he can get like a first for Metcalf, he does it. No, I don't think this makes any sense for the Raiders. Probably not, Jason. Theo's, I think he's a fine guy. Fine guy to pick. A lot of these tight ends feel the same. So my recommendation would be to be generally mixing it up. We all have the guys we like more. Some people are a Noah Fant guy. Some people are a Mike Gesicki guy. Some people are a Noah Gray guy. Some people are Bretton Strange. Some people are Tyler Higbee. Some people are Mason Taylor. Some people are Ben Sinnott. Some people are Juwan Johnson. Some people are Michael Mayer. Some people are whatever. Eric All should not have an ADP. He's officially out for the year. Bretton Strange, think he's a good pick. Tyler Conklin, yep, he seems fine. No. Why are people thinking that Metcalf is going to land with the Raiders? Sure, Gesicki probably back with the Bengals. Tight end 1. Seems fine. They have Trey Tucker. Yeah, I think what's likely for their Seattle is they trade Metcalf and they simply draft a young wide receiver. Again, when you realize that your team is good, not great, you just try to get young and you try to just kind of like wait out the elite quarterbacks. I still like taking Isaiah Bond and Caleb Johnson and Fannin. You know, I think an early 2. No, I think like guys, the Raiders are not delusional. They need a lot of help. They currently don't have a quarterback. Are we really talking about a team that doesn't have a quarterback trading a borderline first round pick for a wide receiver? Are we doing this seriously? I understand Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly probably don't care because they realize that they probably got like 2 years left in the NFL. But I don't see anyone signing off on this. If the Raiders get a quarterback and a running back, okay, maybe. Yeah, let's do this Arroyo guy. Why not? People are jazzed on him. Yeah, no, it's not sensical. I'm not entertaining Metcalf getting traded to the Raiders. If you're trading for Metcalf, you either have a young quarterback and plenty of cap space and draft picks, aka the Patriots, or you're a competitive team, aka the Packers, aka the Bills, etc. I mean, sure, Jerry could do whatever. No, Josh, we don't do these for free. We do these for super chats. No one really cares about roasting a team. That's not a super chat. Chargers make sense, yes. Texans make sense. I mean, can you imagine Nico and Metcalf together? That's fun. I think it could be argued that taking like Arroyo and Mason together maybe isn't the best on my particular team, just because I do need some tight end production. Let's do Juwan. 17th best free agent in the NFL. Could land with a good team. Team ends up Herbert, May, Stafford, James Cook, Aaron Jones, D. Swift, Tajay Spears, Isaac Guerrero, Braylon Allen, Puka, Ladd, Marvin, Rashee Rice, Jerry Jeudy, Shaquille Shakir, Christian Kirk, Demario Douglas. A lot of little slot guys on this team, but Gesicki, Arroyo, Juwan. Could see it working out. Let's do one more. I mean, I don't think the Raiders should consider Gene T at all at 6, but I could see them doing it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think you're in for a rude awakening. Seems like Dart could go top 10 in the draft. Twelve hole. Gonna refill this water. I currently have Dart ranked over Shadur, but we'll see. Joey, man, people say this every year. Probably not. Like my draft builds, I would like to vary what picks I have in drafts. All else equal, I mean, obviously, whichever first round pick scores the most points week 17 is the best place to be. But go ahead, Will. But sorry, I had to let the cat out. Don't remember what I was going to say. I mean, dude, he requested a trade. $12 picks always good. It's chill. We got him. We got neighbors at the 5 hole. Oh yeah, all else equal. The middle of the draft is always the best place to be. 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 9. And the reason is because you're more likely to be able to scoop guys who are falling past ADP. Let's do a London AJ Brown start. Probably pretty rare, seeing as their ADPs are both after these numbers. Yeah, I personally think that this end of the draft feels the worst. I mean, that's a good question. Is this the first fantasy football draft of all time where the first 4 wide receivers off the board went to the same school? I mean, maybe, man. The LSU guys. $12 holes always chill when you are like on your phone watching a movie. KT, dude, you staying in shape? This is an insane name, by the way. Hateful. I don't know. You already know. Glad to hear it, man. A lot of NFL athletes actually tune in. So. What were you watching when you drafted the winning BBM team? Who knows, man? I'm almost sure, though, that it's so long now. I can't quite remember. A little bit of a Bowers fall. JSN getting pulled up. I mean, yeah, the answer at the 1 and 2 pick is either that, like, yeah, you should just be jamming these running backs and it's correct. Or when it doesn't feel good, the answer usually is you should be getting unique. Funny. I've gotten this Brian Thomas JT start at the 12 hole, and this guy did it at the 6 hole. Feels good. I've been building some 2, 4, 12 twos. I think there's a guy that has the username Kadarius Toney which is hilarious. Be right back, guys. Someone's knocking on my door. I think to do some work. Sorry, guys. Pest control dude is here. One moment. Oh, God, I forgot the guys for the kitchen's coming. Whew. All right, we're back. Anyways, we went Drake London, A.J. Brown, Kyron, and James Cook. Hampton goes in the 4th. Just some chaos. My girlfriend's cat is not friendly at all. So whenever anyone comes to the house, it is a hassle. Got to hide her. Oh, my God. I don't know what it would take. I haven't drafted Kadarius Toney for ever, really. But what would it take? What would it take for you guys to be in on the Toney train? Hurts does not make it back. The Kyron Cook duo feels good to me. Kyron, boring goal line back. They have Kyron, Chase Brown, Cook. They have different levels of risk. Who do you guys let me put a poll out. Actually, just let me know. Between Cook, Kyron, and Chase Brown. Number 1, who would you most want to draft? Number 2, who would you most want to fade going into the year? Again, Kyron, Chase Brown, Cook. Who do you most want to draft? Who do you most want to fade? For me, I mean, it's really tough. I like them all. As far as being like the number 1 overall running back in fantasy, I would say like Chase Brown has that best in his bags. As far as if you made me fade one, Maybe Kyron, but I really don't want to fade Kyron. We'll take the falling Kittle here, and we'll pair him with his teammate, Juwan Jennings. Seems solid to me. Cook draft, fade Kyron, fade Chase Brown. Yeah, I don't know. It's close. I mean, obviously, no one's assuming he's going to be the RB1, but if anyone's going to be the RB1 amongst Chase Brown, Kyron, and Cook, what I'm saying is Brown has the most likely outcomes of being that. Joe Burrow picked 66 to pair with T. Makes sense. This is where his ADP should fall to. Come with the receipts, man. Next January. I can't believe Liam in March said X. Maybe Pearsall should be going ahead of Jennings. I don't know. Kittle, people are just kind of bored with. I mean, wouldn't be BM6, right? What do you guys think? Are they going to repeat the structure for Best Ball Mania 6? Is it going to be $2 million to first this year? What do you think? They've said previously that like the structure is like a little bit tapped out. Yeah, you would think that Kittle should not be falling with Debo out of there, but you know, the thing with Kittle, all these olds is it's rarely gradual. You know, it's pretty just it's a sharp decline. No. I mean, think of what you're saying. That's $1 million. $100 the top 1,000. I mean, he's been somewhat gradual, but it's more just been like backloaded into playoff weeks. Okay, that's fair. wasn't really thinking. Yeah, just play something else if you want the regular season payout. All right. I think we pull Purdy up. There's some chance he makes it back, but who cares? Let's take him. And I was a big Josh Downs drafter last year, but I don't know. Doesn't feel great with the quarterback situation. His talent feels good to me. Let's do Jonnu. I've been doing a lot of Jonnu in this range. Jonnu paired with Kittle, done at 2 tight end. Rather than going Downs, I'm going to get an extra wide receiver, basically. Seems good to me. Jonnu, I mean, could be tight end 1 in fantasy. I mean, Colts and Richardson and Jones would not be a fun pairing. I mean, hard to argue with how good Jennings was last year. Like, I simply don't think that was an anomaly. How do you explain that away? Jennings was reincarnated by an alien? Personally, no, I don't think so. I think he just was a good football player. Terrence shouting encouraging things. The future is now. Good morning, sir. Dude. So we got the London, AJ Brown, Jennings trio, Kittle, Jonnu, Kyron Cook, Mr. Purdy. Technically have our starting roster filled. Yeah, I mean, like this type of build, you start to feel behind at wide receiver, even though your first two picks were wide receiver. Now, the nice thing about London is he, to me, feels like a guy who's going to hit your lineup every week. AJ Brown is typically not that. He's typically like a huge week. But, you know, we have a kind of a balanced build. We'll figure it out. I don't know about Tyler Warren. I mean, is Tyler Warren going to be as productive as Jonnu's been? Is he going to be better than Njoku? Good morning. Bateman, never really been a Bateman guy, but he's probably a pretty good pick if Andrews is cut. Obviously, prefer him on Lamar teams. Let's take Mr. T. Hunter. And let's do Diggs too. Why not? Embrace the risk. Love Keon the person. Really unsure how he'll work out in fantasy. Yeah, this is how I feel. Well, I don't know. Some people seem to be Loveland over Warren. This is how I feel. I think JSN does not necessarily benefit from DK leaving. Hey, man. Tutu, we all can't get paid like Tutu. Where's the dream landing spot for Stephon Diggs? New England? In the sense that he would be the top target for a pretty good quarterback. The Chargers, going back to the Texans, seems good to me too. Rams. I think these types of teams. doesn't have to be Bowers, but he needs to be pretty good to pay off going ahead of Njoku, going right beside Jonnu. It seems rich to me. My argument against what you're saying is that his ADP is 100. Like, what if the Steelers draft Warren? We are only 2 years removed from the crowd being rookie tight ends don't do anything. And Warren goes substantially ahead of all of these tight ends, who most of these guys are veterans who are going to be having solid years. So he better be pretty effing good. No, he wouldn't. Bowers was not a round 5 pick. It could work out for Warren. Still seems like his production will be back weighted. And he's competing with a lot of good tight ends already in the NFL, etc. Yeah, just to be better than these guys is not easy. Well, if Warren was so athletic, why didn't he do any of the testing? Warren on the Chargers? I mean, Warren on the Chargers, like the Chargers is sure the nut landing spot, but like big board ADP should not reflect teams landing with the best available team. You know what I mean? Where should he go there? He should go exactly where he's going, probably. So if he gets the best landing spot, okay, his ADP is warranted. I mean, it's not crazy, a 2 price difference, but it is quite likely he gets outscored by most, if not all, of these tight ends. But we'll see. We'll see what his landing spot and draft capital is. We're going to go Mr. Penix and Kirk. I mean, Kirk's just absurdly cheap. A lot of people think Loveland could be a Charger too. Bowers didn't test either. I mean, yeah, it's similar for Warren because he doesn't have a lot to gain, but they weren't being talked about quite the same. Tootin Sighton. So we got 2-2-6-2 Bruin, Purdy, and Penix. I'm just going to stop at 2 quarterbacks, Kyron and Cook. I mean, I might throw a third, but we'll see. London, AJ Brown, Jennings, T. Hunt, Diggs, Kirk. Feels good. Kittle, Jonnu. Probably stopping at 2 tight end. So, who knows? We could be building a 2-8-8-2, 2-7-9-2. When you draft big boards, are you ever considering your future Best Ball Mania portfolio? For example, are you wanting to take more of a player here because you think cost will be higher in Best Ball Mania or vice versa? Or do you consider them completely separate? In general, separate, Pepper. I think the reverse happens sometimes where you're like, ooh, do I really want to take this guy at this price when I was getting him here in the big board? But you probably should treat them separately because the information is just so totally different. In general, I don't think you should be considering future contests for the current contest you're drafting too much. Okay. Let's go with Wright and Sampson. Sampson's supposed to be a good pass blocker. I mean, is this serious? Is there AJ Dillon news? Let's check it out. No? Why are you saying that then? Man, I guess he's still technically a Packer. So I would be operating with the assumption Marshawn Lloyd is the backup. I don't know why you would be assuming AJ Dillon is. What has he done? So who knows about this wide receiver room, right? Like Jennings could disappoint. Hunter, Diggs, Kirk. In general, though, I think they're all bets, good bets. Yeah, everybody loves the farm simulator with AJ Dillon. Maybe he did that, man. Maybe he bought a farm. The Harvey Giddens duo, people love doing it. Connor Kelly's watched the farm simulator. I mean, the hat seems fun. Not a good run for the fantasy running backs who've involved themselves in fantasy football. Eckler, AJ Dillon. I'll be right there, guys. Just going to give some direction real quick. All right. Made it back for my pick here. Let's see. How did those guys go? Ollie Gordon. People are a little bit down on him post-draft. Let's do Jordan Mason. Love me some Jordan Mason. And let's do like Javonte too. Why not? 2 dust balls to chuck on the team. Mason's not a dust ball. I've been saying all along I'm into him. Now Matthew Berry is parroting my streams and his articles. We more discussed ants, but next time maybe. Stop, man. I don't believe it. I'm hoping Mason gets traded somewhere. Like the Bears? They've been trading a lot, you know? My God, man. Hey, we could all stick to our conviction that much. Yeah, I mean, Javante's never felt great to me, but I mean, not a huge opportunity cost. I was so right to be out on him last year. That was a real battle between some of the fellow sharps, quote unquote. I have 27% RJ Harvey through 132 drafts. Most of it is in the 20th round. Should I keep up my stocks in him or wait until new tournaments drop? Well, Blake, he's going as like a 14th round pick right now. So there's 2 trains of thought there. Number one train of thought is you got the best price you can get. He's more expensive. Fall in love with someone new. If you think he is going to pay off similar to a 7th round cost, an 8th round cost, well, then he's still undervalued. So you might as well hit him again. So choose your favorite there. Warehouse is fact checking you, Blake. Am I crazy to think the Pats could trade for DK and sign Kirk? I mean, Ty, we probably don't see that, man. You just usually don't. And again, I think a lot of teams are going to be in the Kirk services. No, that's not going to happen, I don't think. And not every wide receiver wants to play with Lamar because they just know that they're not going to get quite the volume. Sure, man. Slayton, let's do it again. And why not? Tolbert, 2 dudes who are relatively boring. They both have some risk. But you're hoping for like 700 yards and 6+ touchdowns from both. We got people on opposite sides of the board complaining that I took players. I mean, dude, we got to stop with teams that are like 7th in the playoff hunt that they are contenders. Exactly. Where do I want to see DK? I want to see him with Green Bay, Buffalo, the Chargers, or the Texans. I could see it, Ryan. It's going to be, a lot of improved teams. I want to see what happens in free agency and the draft for all these teams. Again, I think Kincaid getting hurt was really a wrench in their offensive plans, where I think he was supposed to be a bigger part of the passing game. They still were an awesome offense. And their defense was quite bad, but I think that the free agent class is quite nice for Buffalo, where there's a lot of edge rushers who are pretty good. Tony, you got no one to blame but yourself for hammering all the QJ stock. Nothing's real. So I don't really know what this team needs. Not do another tight end. With the quarterbacks available, probably not going to do another one there. Kyron Cook, Wright, Sampson, Mason, Williams. Maybe do a 7th running back and a 9th wide receiver. Probably just do that. 2-7-9-2. Obviously, injuries is what really hurts if Purdy or Penix or Jonnu or Kittle get hurt, but 2-7-9-2, pretty good. Oh yeah, dude. 1 year, $10 million. Thank you for your service. Calvin Austin, Trey Tucker. Why not? Fully guaranteed. Let's see. Let's see if we're getting any other NFL news. We'll get the A.J. Dillon news off of our page here. Yeah, we're still going to be getting some free agent releases here. Edge market's pretty nice. You got Sweat. You got the Bosa. I think today will be the highest volume draft day of 2-2, simply because that's how news works. What did I say? Like, Tutu is going to get drafted today, and then the next day, like, Van Jefferson's going to get $10 million, and then they're going to draft him for a day. And then we'll look back in a couple months and be like, remember when people were doing that? Sure, William Shipley. Come on down. And what do we want to do here? Let's do Ray McLeod. Falcon slot? That's the hope there? Why not? Rarely drafted. So Purdy, Penix, Kyron Cook, Wright, Sampson, Mason, Javonte, Will Shipley, London, Brown, Jennings, Hunter, Diggs, Kirk, Tolbert, Slayton, Ray McLeod III, Kittle, and Jonnu. That is it for me today. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, join the Discord, links below. You can get rankings and more. BeatBestBall.com. I'll be back more later. Peace out. Free agent? Well, hey, maybe he's brought back. Or maybe Zacchaeus is the guy there. Peace out.